Cities, big cities, are getting a real world taste of what's happening at the border every day. And we're going to go inside the numbers from the latest jobs report with tonight's Dream Team. The Aggressive Progressive podcast host, Chris Hahn, the Heritage Foundation Regional Economics Research Fellow, E.J. Antoni, and Project 21 co-chair, Horace Cooper. Gentlemen, welcome to all of you on this Friday night. Let's start with the border first, because Governor Abbott has said, listen, New York City is somewhere that has open arms. They want folks to come there. They say that they'll take them in D.C., so they should be happy to work with this on this. Well, Eric Adams, who is the press secretary for he is Eric Adams' press secretary. Fabian Levi in New York says this. He tweets out, so Greg Abbott admits to what we've known he's been doing all along. His continued use of human beings as political pawns is disgusting. Horse, both he and the mayor here in D.C. have said these people are simply being used.
How the city of New York wants to allow people who are not citizens of the United States, not even maybe lawful residents, to be able to vote. They're not manipulating and using those people. They create themselves, New York City and even Washington, D.C., as a sanctuary city. The good book says, be ye not deceived. A man will reap what he sows. If you want this welcome parade, then you should get your share of it. Good on the governor for saying this is what you've asked for, this is what you're going to get.
And I guess he's going to continue that. With that in mind, the D.C. mayor here has asked for help from the National Guard in dealing with what she calls a humanitarian crisis. Well, a senior defense official told us today we have determined providing this support would negatively impact the readiness of the D.C. National Guard and have negative effects on the organization and members. So, Chris, they're telling her she's going to have to figure it out without their help.
Yeah, seems like a great case for D.C. statehood, if anyone were to make one. Thank you for doing that, federal government and the Defense Department. If we're going to quote Bible verses, let's quote Matthew 25 and do unto the least of them as we would do unto Christ. And yeah, you know what? Let's welcome these people who are seeking freedom, trying to breathe free in this country. We have lots of job openings in this country, and these people seem willing to take them. So let's find a way to pass comprehensive immigration reform so that we have a process to bring people into this country who want to come here and be productive members of our society. Maybe that'll help our economy and all these inflationary pressures that we love to talk about.
Yeah, there have been so many misstarts on a bipartisan basis, or when Republicans controlled everything or Democrats controlled everything, on trying to find any overhaul to the immigration system, the need for more immigration judges, all of that. Well, I'm not holding my breath on Washington getting that done in an election year. But you
Shannon,
mentioned the jobs here, so I want to make it quick.
The 2013 Immigration Reform Act provided border security and a real method of bringing people into this country that was passed bipartisanly in the United States Senate. It would pass the House today. I call on the Speaker to bring it up and bring it to the Senate, and Joe Biden will sign it because he voted for it.
Okay, all right, we'll see what happens with that. But let's talk about these jobs, because we have our economists with us tonight. EJ, I want to bring you in here. Now, Jason Furman, who was the chair of the Council of Economic Advisors for President Obama, had a couple of interesting tweets today. I need your help because he brings up something that is a question I keep having. In this first one about the labor participation rate, he says, I am baffled by the decline in labor force participation, peaked at 62.4% in March and has fallen nearly continuously since, despite tons of job openings, lots of jobs added, dwindling cash balances, mostly improving COVID, recession talk scaring people into accepting jobs, etc. EJ, how does this work?
Well, Shannon, I think a key component here is removing work requirements from welfare programs and also expanding welfare programs at the same time. That makes it a lot easier for people to be on welfare and to be on government assistance and not need to go out and earn a living and have a job. And so it really should come as no surprise, as part of a larger Biden agenda that's very anti-work, anti-energy, and pro-inflation, quite frankly, that we are seeing these bad jobs numbers. And although the establishment survey number, that's the headline number, that was over 500,000, that came in very strong. If you look at the household survey, which is the second component of this monthly jobs report, that actually peaked back in March and still has not recovered. In fact, it's been trending downward since March, and it still, again, has not reached pre-pandemic levels. So the job market is not nearly as robust as the headlines make it appear.
Okay, so it seems like a great headline when we get it today because it surprised us in the right direction, not in the wrong direction. But Jason Furman also had this tweet. He called it an uncomfortably hot jobs report. Horst, what do you make of that?
Well, a couple things. One is in the summer, there are typically some seasonal increases in the number of people that end up getting hired. Those are not long-term jobs. And another thing is to look at if you wanted to see a robust job market, first you'd see a labor participation rate that would be increased, but you'd also see what we saw during the Trump administration, where, say, groups like Black Americans were setting records for low unemployment. Under Joe Biden's tenure, what we have seen is that the Black unemployment rate is expanding, not decreasing. This is stagflation. We have a little seasonal improvement, but long term, that's not where we're headed.
Okay, so Chris, let me give you, I know you're champing at the bit here. Labor Secretary Marty Walsh used the R word today. He talked about it's a real recession. That's his take. Your take.
There are more people working in America today than have ever worked in America today. This labor participation number, he's not even counting the millions of Americans who decided that, you know what, I'm ready to retire now. People who have been holding on. The pandemic had them working from home. Now they're going back into the office and said, you know what? Time to pack it in. That's a good thing for the economy. It brings more people into the workforce. And there is record low unemployment. There's record low unemployment among Latinos in this job report. You forgot to mention that part of it. So I've never seen a recession ever.
What about the
that
blacks?
had a record
What about
number
the
of
blacks?
Americans working. There has been a slight increase in Black unemployment. It's negligible. It could be a rounding error, as you might admit, if you were being honest.
Okay.
It is a
Shannon,
rounding
we're gonna have to take
error.
time out
If
there.
you were
Let me
being
jump
honest
in
about
for
it.
a second.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
We're going to have to go, but let me give the final word to our economist, EJ. Make it quick and close this out.
Certainly, I think it's very telling that the household survey, again, still has not recovered to pre-pandemic levels. And on top of that, the average American has lost $3,400 a year in purchasing power under President Biden. Contrast that with President Trump, where the average purchasing power increased by $4,000, the annual equivalent. So it's very hard to say that people are faring so much better under Biden.
Okay. All right, let's say this. This was a spark of good news today. Let's hope it continues in the right direction for the good of the country. Chris, EJ, and Horace, thank you all. See you soon.
Thank you.